This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, Facebook, and YouTube. Get all your sports news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smokin Jeremy B, Wrestling Roundup, The Big Football Show, and more, Shield TV, Lions Villain Report, and Red Zone Rant. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla, Grosef Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, The Bodkin Show, Spirit of Detroit Podcast, and Maniacs. The nightly podcasts are Palace Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Skull Gang 365, The Huddle Sports Network Open Mic, First and 10 with Foz, Main Event Football Show, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports. Spitballing Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, Puckett, 313 Den Podcast, The Guys Huddle, Shots from the Sideline, Let's Talk Sports, The Michigan Truth Sports Podcast, Off the Rails, NFC Northeast, Power Hours, and Detroit Lions News. Make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Hope you like all the shows.
Ready? You think you could tell us what to do? You think you could tell us what to wear? You think that you're better? Well, you better get ready. Bow to the masters. Break it down!
Yeah, break it down. You know it exactly. It's time for Wrestletalk. I am Ralph Williams. It's great to be here with you today. I'm by myself today. Smokin Jim under the weather, so he will not be joining us today for the Wrestletalk show. He also did not join us for the Sports Corner show that we just had on earlier today as well. All right, so we are in the Mata Heating and Air Conditioning Studio, 724-201-0500, and I want to welcome everyone that's brand new that is watching on the Huddle Sports Network, which is on Roku and Fire TV, along with Facebook, YouTube, and also we're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter X platforms, and soon to be on the South Florida Tribune Network. I'm working on some other ones as well. We're going to be really spreading ourselves out there. And also, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel as well, Ralph Williams RW Media. Check out all my archive shows on there as well. And follow me on Twitter X. Follow me as well. I'm trying to get to 200 by the end of March, so please help me do that by following me also on Twitter. There's a lot to offer there as well. All right, guys, we're going to gals today. I'm by myself, so we're going to talk a little bit about WWE, some of the things that are going on. We'll talk about AEW, but first, let's get into TNA. TNA, Joe Hendry, the ink. Or how do you say, the metal isn't even dry on the championship, and already he's got a top-notch contender in Matt Cardona. How about that for TNA Wrestling? Matt Cardona is in TNA. Matt Cardona, he must be making his rounds. I know he's been doing work in the independent circuit, New Japan, MLW. Matt Cardona has gone everywhere. Well, of course, you know he's got to make money because you know who he's married to, don't you? Chelsea Green. So he's got to make money. So he's everywhere. So I just want to let you know, Matt Cardona is going up against Joe Hendry for the title. And Genesis is coming up as well. It'll be some WWE versus TNA. That was about a week ago. It was a great pay-per-view, I was told. I didn't watch it. I'm not one to pay for stuff. So I didn't pay, I get WWE for free on Peacock. So, why should I pay for a pay-per-view anyway? And I get the highlights that I need anyway to check it out. But anyhow, and then now let's talk about AEW before we get into WWE. AEW, you got Jon Moxley going up against Edge, Adam Copeland. Jon Moxley better be careful about what he says and does with Adam Copeland. Because I got to tell you something. Adam Copeland is a clever, mean, really good, smart wrestler. Okay? And I think he could probably, if this turns into a wrestling match, I think Adam Copeland can out-wrestle Jon Moxley. I believe that to be the case. Okay? As far as that goes. And then you still have this. And here's the problem with AEW right now: the same, the same, the same. Okay, now you still have Hook fighting up against Christian Cage and Nick Wayne. When is that going to go away? When is it? And I know that Hook is still upset about what happened to his dad, Taz. Okay, I get that. All right, but something's got to move. You got to move away. You got to do different things. You got to do something else. AEW lately hasn't been doing too much of anything. And Peter Blake said this on I'm on Turnbuckle Talk with him on Wednesdays at 10:30 at night on 10:30 p.m. Wednesdays on the Amped Up Sports and the Sports Web with Peter Blake. And, we talk about this, and Peter says this, and I agree with him, that AEW is about wrestling, okay? WWE is about entertainment and what they call, the different, schemes and the different types of creative stuff that they do, and the different stuff like that. All right, I have some independent stuff I want to talk to you about today. Independent events coming up. FNW will be at the Enclave down on the south side. 7:30 bell time, 6:30 doors open. February 27th is Thursday. I'm working on being there. Vic Braun will be there. T. Ranchula will be there as well, as you can see on the banner there. All right. Also, Rise Wrestling, Saturday, February 15th. Now, they make their new appearance in North Versailles. They're going to be at the Sunny Days Arena in North Versailles at the venue is what it's called. And they will be there. I believe it's right on Route 30. Check it out. February 15th. I will be at that. I'm going to try to make that one as well. I try to make as many of these independent things as possible. Some of the ones I don't like to travel real far to go to as well. And with the winter weather, it's kind of hard. All right, here's the event that I'm excited about. And I will be at this event. I'm a sponsor for the Pros of Wrestling. Saturday, March 15th, 2025. The Pros of Wrestling, the Bruno Sammartino's dedication. Stan the Man Hansen will be there, as well as Corey Graves, who is the son of the owner, Dan Polinsky. He will be there as well. And also, it's going to be a great card and a super duper. I have another banner with the rest of the card on it. And also, Bob Michelucci will be there as well. He's a longtime legend in trading cards. He will be there as well. So it's going to be a great night of wrestling. The Pros of Wrestling, they always put on one heck of a show, and Stan Hansen will be there as well. Rise also is having an event coming up Saturday, February 8th. That's next Saturday at 7 o'clock. Their main performances are at the Uniontown Mall in Uniontown, Pennsylvania. They're there. Bell time 7 o'clock. Check that out as well. For any information, go on to RISERiseWrestling.com. And then we'll get into that later. All right, here we go. Victory of Violence, live pro wrestling, March 21st, 6:30. Doors open, 7 o'clock bell time at the Chambers Hall Gym at the University of Pitt Greensburg. This ought to be an interesting scenario right here. Check this out. I will not be at this event because I will be at the Pros of Wrestling event, which is coming up on March the 15th as well. But here is some more AJ Alexander versus the Lamar for the Rise Ascension Championship match coming up for that as well. That is just some of the stuff going on independently. KSWA has an event coming up this month, too, in January at the Sheridan Langley Post and Sheridan section of the city of Pittsburgh as well. And Wrestletalk now can be seen on the Huddle Sports Network, which is on Roku, Fire TV, and also on YouTube and also on Facebook as well. And we're on my channel, on YouTube. And please subscribe. I only have 200 subscribers. I can't figure that out. Can someone please help me? I've been doing this for 3 years. I put on professional programming, please. 200 subscribers is all I have. Can you please help me out a little bit here? Call your friend, call your cousin, call somebody, get them subscribing. Ralph Williams, RW Media, help me out with that, please. I really would appreciate it if you could do that. All right. Also, some other announcements on some programming coming up. Don't forget tomorrow, Ralph's Opinion. Every Wednesday, 7 to 8 o'clock tomorrow night. We have a lot to talk about tomorrow night on Ralph's Opinion. Oh my gosh, we have a lot to talk. A little behind the eight ball. I wasn't available last week, so I didn't have the show. So there we are with that. But anyway, Ralph's Opinion next week live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and my Twitter X platform. Also on my Twitter page, Ralph Williams RW Media. Don't forget to follow me as well on there also. And my goal is to get to 200 by the end of March, but please help me out with that as well. All right. Also, I want to go into Saturday, the triple header of Ralph real quick. The new Ralph Williams show. It's now the Ralph Williams Tony Moreno show. Every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., 12:50 a.m., 92.5. The Answer. And this week, we have a lot to talk about. Tony Moreno, my co-host, has also announced this week he's running for mayor of the city of Pittsburgh. We'll talk about that. But at 9 o'clock, right here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, X platform, and also on the Huddle Sports Network, the External Bum Show, new thing going on here. Me, Ralph Williams, Scott Morgan, with Leo Haggerty, and a special guest when available. This Saturday, Ray Fittipaldo from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette will join us. We talk about bums in sports, and our main topic is we're going to dissect these coaching hires in the NFL. Why did they take the job? Why would they want to work for a certain owner? Why? Or is it a good hire? Is it a bad hire? Is it a screwed up hire? We're going to do all that this Saturday on the External Bum Show, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. And also 2 to 3 p.m., the conclusion of the triple header of Ralph. Every Saturday, 2 to 3 p.m., the Sports Corner radio show with me, Ralph Williams, Smokin, Jim Frazier, Claudia Rosano, Luther Dupree. We will discuss the championship games, the Super Bowl, make our picks for some different things, talk about more about the Steelers, what they can do, and more. Right on 12:50 a.m. 92.5 The Answer here in Pittsburgh. Also, you can go on the Answer's website and catch, and also on iHeartRadio as well, and catch this show. Or go on Google, punch up the Answer, 12:50 a.m. Scroll down to Radio Stations USA, push it'll bring up 12:50, and just push the arrow, and you can listen to it as well. All right, this weekend coming up is the Royal Rumble. All right, you have the men's match, you have the women's match. Okay, you have Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens, which should have never happened. Okay, Nick Aldis, when he took that job as general manager of SmackDown, the first thing he should have did when he took that job, he said he was going to crack the whip. He's let that show get completely out of hand at times, with Bloodline doing whatever they felt like it at some point and everything else. So my thoughts is that Nick Aldis should have fired Kevin Owens after he did the damage to Randy Orton, and then the second time around did the damage to Cody Rhodes. Okay, fired. Should have been fired. Insubordination big time. Okay, I would have fired him if it was me, but that's me. All right. So, and Nick Aldis has not cracked the whip like he said he's going to do. There's some rumors out there that he wants to get back into the ring, and I'm hearing that could happen. And if it does, I read a report today that they're planning on bringing in Rob Van Dam to be the general manager of SmackDown. I don't know what Rob Van Dam's capable of. I've never seen him as a GM or an authority figure, perhaps. But, I think it's going to work out pretty good, I think, if they bring him in. He's a smart guy. I think he'll know what's going on. My question is, where does the new bloodline go? Or if it's going to even be the new bloodline. I read a report today that it could happen that the guys that were the new bloodline will go join Roman Reigns and the rest of them. All right? I've heard stories that Solo Sikoa is going to walk away and go back and join Roman Reigns. All right? This is what they call a dysfunctional family all the way across the board, all the way up the tree. I mean, you got The Rock. You don't know what he's doing. You got, Roman Reigns. Who's he going to make his bloodline to be now that he's back being the tribal chief? And so, Jay, Jimmy, Sammy, they all are doing separate things right now. So I don't even think they're even going to want to come back with Rome. And that might not happen because, those guys right now, Jey Uso, main event, he lost this past Saturday in the Saturday night's main event match against Gunther. Okay. And so, here we are. We're coming up on Royal Rumble now. Rhea Ripley defeated Nia Jax. Okay. And I mean, it's going to be an interesting situation this week on the Royal Rumble. What's going to happen? And you got a 2 out of 3 falls tag team match coming up this week, I believe, at the Royal Rumble. It's going to be the Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY. That's going to be an interesting match. Gunther is going to go up against, it could go up against anybody right now. Seth Rollins, you got that idiot Logan Paul back in the fold. I don't like him. I don't want him around. He's a part-time wrestler. The only reason that WWE brings him in is because of all of his followers on Facebook and his social media platforms and all that. He draws, millions and millions of followers everywhere and everything else. He's trying to be like his brother. Stick to what you know. Logan Paul, I'm interested to see what he's going to do against Conor McGregor, but that's for another day. All right? But Logan Paul being in this match, I don't like it. And I don't like the fact that the WWE, you could see Logan Paul against Gunther. All right? I don't think Logan Paul wants to fight Cody Rhodes again. Then again, maybe he does. I don't know. Seth Rollins, on the other hand, does he want Gunther? Does he want Cody Rhodes? Okay? CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, this whole field of people, I think this might be one of the best Royal Rumble matches in a long, long time. Probably since Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. The Rock is in it. John Cena's in it. Okay, there's going to be a lot of guys that are prominent stars that are going to be in this. This is going to be Penta. I'm interested to see what Penta is going to do. Okay, he's one of the new guys that's shown up from AEW. His brother's supposed to be coming. His manager's supposed to be coming as well. I don't know what's going on with their contracts with AEW, but they're supposed to be coming in. I'm hearing now Malachi Black is coming back. Okay. So we will find out, as WWE continues to get AEW talent and they continue to lose to AEW talent. And let's talk about the Hurt Syndicate. They're now for AEW real quick here. I forgot to mention, they are now the tag team champions for AEW. Bobby Lashley, Sheldon Benjamin. So, I mean, it's interesting how the wrestlers go back and forth. Some of them are in TNA. I heard Mustafa Ali re-signed with TNA. There was rumors he was going to AEW. AJ Curtis has moved on. I've been hearing stories about him being in AEW, TNA. He's right now formerly known as Top Dollar. Okay. Moose, I'm surprised Moose stays with TNA. But here's going to be the benefit of this TNA WWE discussion. Merger. Okay. It's going to be huge discussions on all of our shows here, all the different wrestling shows here. Okay. And I want to thank Huddle Sports Network for letting me put this here, because now we're on the Huddle Sports Network on Roku, Fire TV, also on their YouTube and Facebook page. And we're also on the Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter X and Twitch on my platforms. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please subscribe to my Twitter, or follow me on my Twitter X account, Ralph Williams RW Media Productions. Okay. So what I'm saying is that this Royal Rumble match, the men's match and the women's match, will be a long time. So it's going to be those two, and then you have the other two matches. I don't see anything else going on unless they add something at the last minute. Okay. You have Shinsuke Nakamura as the U.S. champion, and he beat LA Knight again last Friday. All right. You got, and then you have, Gunther beat Jey Uso at Saturday night's main event. Let's talk about that a little bit here. And also Rhea Ripley beating Nia Jax for the title. My next question is, who's going to be in the women's? You got Charlotte Flair, who, is the wife of Andrade. She's back again in the fold. Bayley has been in a Royal Rumble match and has won one. Io Sky has won a last year. and so forth. Tiffany Stratton, still the champ. Everybody thought that reign wasn't going to happen or wasn't going to be staying. It's still there. Tiffany Stratton is a very clever, people like Tiffany Stratton, Liv Morgan, people like that. They like to sort of, how you say, they like to be clever. They might not be the biggest wrestlers in the world, but they're the most clever. Look at Liv Morgan. Look at some of the stunts she's pulled to win matches. All right. But the thing I'm interested in, what would happen if it boiled down to Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan? Mata Heating and Air Conditioning Studios here, Studios 808 in the Allentown section of the city of Pittsburgh. Call Mata today, 724-201-0500. Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. Also, if you're interested in being a sponsor for all RW Media shows, you can get on my email at ralphwilliams737@gmail.com. We have 2 radio shows, 6 podcasts, and also a spot on my website, which is www.rwmediaproductions.com. Check out archive shows as well on there. Also, please check it out. I'm telling you, I got some great affordable rates for you. RW Media Productions and Advertising as well. All right. So, what's your thoughts on Royal Rumble? A comment section wide open. My email mailbag, ralphwilliams737@gmail.com is open. Those of you who are new to the show, if you're interested in what's going on or what your thoughts are, opinions, comments about the show, suggestions for the show. Sometimes I have, they call me the booking machine. Sometimes I have some independent wrestlers on here. And who knows? Maybe I might get a real good one of these days. All right. But a lot of them, they got booking agents and they don't want to talk to me. I'm the low guy on the totem pole for now, but you know how that goes. But anyway, please don't forget to subscribe on my YouTube channel and please follow me on my Twitter X platform as well. Check out some of the stuff I post as well. You never know what might go for you. All right. We got about 5 minutes left in the program. We're cutting it out early tonight. When I have a guest, we're on for an hour. When I don't have a guest, we're on for 30 minutes. So I don't have a guest tonight, so we're on for 30 minutes. And, we're getting ready to wrap things up here in a few moments. But again, your thoughts, Royal Rumble. Who do you think will win the Royal Rumble match? The women's match, that could be anybody. And you know who's back? Jade Cargill. And here's the interesting part. Who did this to Jade Cargill? I have 2 suspects, and both of them are the tag team champions. I think it could have been Bianca Belair because I heard, and I know from a couple sources of mine, there's been some friction going on between the 2 of them. Bianca's a little bit jealous of Jade. And Jade Cargill, remember when she was in AEW, she was more of a singles wrestler. She didn't want to really be a tag team champion kind of thing. The only time she tagged up was when she needed to. But most of the time she was a champion, and she did mostly singles matches. And I think she wants a little bit more. I think she wants to be a champ. I think she really a singles champ. Okay, so I think Jade Cargill. I believe it could have been Bianca Belair, or now they're saying it could have been Naomi, because Naomi wanted to be a tag team champion. Okay, is Naomi doing that and going to turn heel? Could happen. Could she get together with her family in the bloodline? Could happen. Married to Jimmy Uso. I see some of those scenarios going on as well. Okay. Saturday night's main event wasn't bad. Jesse the Body there. I like that. I was really surprised to see Joe Testator there. And, I'm not real happy about what they did to Corey Graves. We had Dan Polinsky on here last week and, or a few weeks back. And I got to tell you, that was sad. They moved him to NXT. He's down there with Vic Joseph and Booker T. And, I just feel that, I get you're trying to get more ratings maybe with NXT, and it's on the CW, and maybe the ratings are hurting. I don't know that. Okay. And I don't know how many people get the CW. I do know if you have a converter box or a cable system that has the CW, you get it. I get it all. I get the CW, I get Netflix, USA Network. So, I mean, all 3 of the networks that, carry WWE programming. I get Peacock for the pay-per-views. So, I mean, and Netflix for Raw. We'll see what happens there. But Royal Rumble's going to be interesting. And your thoughts on last week's Saturday night's main event? I actually thought it was quite decent. The match that I really wanted to see, and I was sad that it happened the way it did, was Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu. I never expected Jacob Fatu to dominate Braun Strowman like that. I never did. I actually thought that that Braun Strowman was going to teach Jacob Fatu a little bit of a lesson. Didn't happen that way. And sometimes, matches, things like that, they don't happen. And how about that contract signing? Kevin Owens, a crybaby, try to powerbomb Shawn Michaels. And then Cody Rhodes kicked him. And then Shawn Michaels gave him the sweet chin music. So I mean, it's Kevin Owens is a crybaby. Should have been fired, as I said earlier in the show. Nick Aldis hasn't been to his word of cracking the whip. He hasn't really done it. But his show at least hasn't gotten too far out of hand, like Adam Pearce's show. Raw is with him is completely out of hand. I mean, he lets things go on there that shouldn't go on. Like the Bronson Reed thing with Seth Rollins, that should have never happened. Okay, the Braun Strowman, that should have never happened. There were a lot of things that again, Bronson Reed should have been fired. Took a wrestler out. Could have ended his career. Okay? See, that's the type of thing I'm talking about. No suspension, maybe a suspension or fine, but he should have been fired. Gone. Okay? And I'm interested to see, again, this TNA WWE merger, kind of like working the partnership together, and some of the TNA wrestlers showing up in NXT. That's interesting there too. I mean, Joe Hendry showing up. Bailey was there again this past or last week. I watched NXT last week. Bailey was there. So I mean, we're going to still see some more of that going on as well. And this silly stuff with this with DIY and the two guys who it's pretty deadly, that kind of thing. That's getting a little out of control as well. There's a lot of things in both AEW, WWE that are just getting a little out of control. And TNA, well, they don't have that big of a roster or lineup, so they have to do what they have to do with that there. So that's TNA's no exception. ROH, Jericho still has the title, and I wish. And I'm still saying this. I'm going to say this once. I'll say it again. I wish Tony Khan would take that and let it go on its own and quit intertwining them with AEW. Stop doing that. Okay? Take some of your wrestlers from AEW, move them to ROH, some of the ones that are struggling maybe, kind of like what WWE does with NXT. When you're struggling, you go to NXT and you work your way back. All right? And I like Brian Pillman's son. He's doing real well. He's got that trophy. So, I mean, a lot of things going on between the two or the three, pretty decent here. Matt Riddle showed up at TNA. I'm hoping Matt Riddle can work again. Dolph Ziggler down there is Nick Nemeth. This TNA WWE thing's going to work, I think, pretty good for itself. All right. I'm Ralph Williams. Thank you. Join me every Tuesday with me and my co-host, Smokin' Jim Frazier, who was under the weather a little bit today. And we do have one comment here. Let's see what this comment is here. It says, best viewers on Boost MX on, oh, okay. Well, this was Tonio Mark. All right, thank you. And thank you for your comment as well. And also the best viewers are here. I think we have some of the highest viewers on this program that we've had in a while. And it's great to see that as well. As we are on the Huddle Sports Network, as well as YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter X platforms. All right, I'm Ralph Williams. I hope Smokin' Jim Frazier gets better. Say some prayers for him. He's a little bit under the weather tonight. You have yourselves a great night. Thank you. See you next week. I might have a guest on. Check out my social media platforms. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter X. Catch you next week.